Alright, we are live. Welcome back, you guys, to Live on Slow Mode number 55. Thank y'all for joining me this evening. Apologies for the late start or the slight delay by a minute or so. But yes, thank y'all for joining me. Thank y'all also for 1,000 subscribers. It's not on this page. No, it's not. Well, this is our official YouTube if you haven't viewed it already. But we have, have a couple new tricks now that I can show y'all. Hang on, let me connect that really quick. Okay. Oh yeah, I got a new trick for you guys. But now the mouse has this little highlight over it, so y'all can probably see better. But yes, check out our recent video, 1,000 slow mode subscribers or G's. This is our community, our slow mode community. Make sure you check out the video. Basically going over some future events that we plan to incorporate into our business and what we plan to do going forward. I am very thankful for you all subscribing, and please continue to do so. The more subscribers we get, the faster that we will be able to put out more knowledge and information at a faster rate. So we have a lot to cover today. As you all know, the topic of the video is Semantic War Against so-called black people. Only one human race. Semantic War Against so-called black people. Only one human race. Okay? So the reason why I entitled this video Semantic War, there's a couple of reasons. Well, black people, the people call themselves black, African American, Negro, colored, those dark-skinned people that were quote unquote bred from slavery, do not understand their African Moorish connection to ancient Africa, going back to the Spanish Inquisition. Well, I'll start with the chronology first, so I don't confuse people. But when slavery happened, the transatlantic slave trade happened, the so-called dark-skinned people that are calling themselves black currently today in Western civilization in the year 2026, all over the world, in diaspora, and specifically in the Western Hemisphere, they are being brainwashed, and I use brainwash to refer to I got a lot of books here. Refer to the book Journey of the Songhai People. Let me see if that's man. Journey of the Songhai People, Redmond Ballows. Oh, that looks good. Redmond Ballows, Calvin Robinson, that's the author, the main author, and then Edward W. Robinson. But he goes over brainwashing, page 5 through 7. I've been citing it all week, so it's it's kind of fresh in the head. So yeah, we have a lot to cover, and I'll try to make this live stream short and sweet. We have a lot to cover, and we probably might not cover it all because I have a lot to do. we're creating slow-mo Moorish portals for you all. So we're using ancient African Moorish mysticism and wisdom to continue our work. And please do continue to subscribe because that helps out tremendously. Okay, so I have a list. I kind of have a list today, so I can kind of like, we can like kind of get somewhere faster today. Well, this evening. Okay. Just some of the topics that I want to cover. So first, etymology. You all may be familiar, if you all are new to so-called moorishscience in the YouTube space, in the YouTube area of the internet, or African Moorish science or Kemetic science, the Kemetu, the Egyptian science, Egyptian mysteries, all of that, Dogon mysteries, interior of Africa, the Nubia, Kush, interior, and so many other tribes. But if you're new to that, it will be a little confusing. But Taj Tariq Bey, he goes over the etymology of words, and for example, black, Negro, colored. I can pull up. We can pull up some videos. Let's see here. I don't necessarily want to do that. Well, I can use our mystics playlist. Our hidden knowledge playlist. Excuse me. I need to change the title of this. So yeah, as you see, Taj Tariq Bey here. Very knowledgeable, more dark-skinned, swarthy person. Watch these videos. These are some of the videos that we or I have edited with our company just for promotion purposes, because during this time I was still in the early path of understanding African Moorish connection to the so-called black people, because in the Moorish Science Temple of America, their members only try and bombard you with Noble Drew Ali teachings, and they only focus on well, from what I experienced, a lot of them only focused on Moorish Spain from 711 or during the Arabic conquest going to 1492. However, there are some Moors that went back as far as the Atlanteans, Lemuria, which I read from R.S. Clymer. He was a Rosicrucian of the Rosicrucian Order of the Rosicrucians, and he wrote a book entitled Lemuria. I think I can pull that up actually. Yeah, let's pull it up. Since we're on the topic, no, that's gonna get off topic, and it's gonna take longer. Nah, let me just stick to the topic at hand. So you have a lot of celebrities, a lot of influencers that are they are playing with so-called black people. They don't. A lot of them don't consciously know it, but some of them do. I'll give you some examples. So let's use if y'all are familiar with the rapper Kanye, producer Kanye West.
We're not black. How about that? We're not black, nigga. We're Indian. Yeah. We're Native American. Yeah. How many of y'all grandmothers got Indian in your family? Yeah. Wait a second, but what happened to the Indians? We black. Show me black on the planet. Why you stop recording? Why you stop crazy? Nah, because you think I sound crazy.
No, you don't sound crazy. You sound fucking legit. You're talking true. You're talking true.
We're not black. Race was made up.
You're talking true.
Race was made up. Show me black on the planet. Show me black. Everybody else, they European, they Australian, they Chinese, they Japanese. Show me black on the planet. We take.
So, Kanye here is telling half truths. Let me explain. So we had recently covered in the previous live stream, I can't remember which exact one, but I will show you here. Let's see, can y'all see the page? Awesome. Alright. So this is Peabody's, let me get the highlighter. So you see here it says Peabody Museum of Archaeology and Ethnology. So let us go to the title page so you can see. Let me zoom in. Let's make this full screen. So you see here it says Peabody Museum of American Archaeology and Ethnology, Harvard University Papers, Volume 1, Cambridge, Massachusetts, published by the museum. Alright. We already, here's the better archaeological and ethnological papers of the Peabody Museum, Harvard University, Volume 1, Standard or Headdress, an historical essay on the relic of ancient Mexico by Zelia Nuttall, special assistant of the Peabody Museum, with 3 colored plates. Okay. So we're going to go to page 6. Okay. So we read this reference over and over. Let me zoom in so y'all can see. So we're going to start right here. On folio 472 of this ancient document is cataloged with other subjects and featherwork contained in the chest number 9, and is described as, quote, a Moorish hat of beautiful, long, lustrous green and gold hue feathers, bedecked above with white, red, and blue feathers and gold rosettes and ornaments. In front of the forehead it has a beak of pure gold, end quote. The term Moorish, as applied, can scarcely be regarded as a deceptive one, inasmuch as, quote, Montezuma, the king of Tezmistlan and Mexico, end quote, is subsequently designated as, quote, a Moorish king, end quote, in the same inventory of 1596. See page number 9. It is interesting to note the gradual changes that occur in the wording of the subsequent periodical official registrations of this, quote, Moorish hat, end quote. In 1613, its description was faithfully reproduced. Pay attention. Right here. Oops. I meant to do that. So, How many years is after that? Okay, you see this right here? I'm messing up. Can't just, no, I can't do that. Alright. I wanted to just click on it, but it's not gonna let me. Alright, so how many years is that? Y'all do the math. That's 17 years after its description was faithfully reproduced. In 1621, the word, quote, Indian, quote, was substituted for Moorish. You see this? With this single altercation, the original text was again transcribed in 1730. How many years is that after this? 1621. So, y'all boy Kanye is saying,
him sound crazy because he's black.
Nigga, what you care about crazy?
No,
And by the way, we're not black. How about that? We're not black, nigga. We're Indian.
Yeah.
We're Native American.
Yeah.
How many of y'all grandmothers got Indian in your family?
Yeah, I'm
Wait a second, but what happened to the Indians? We black. Show me black on the planet. Why you stop recording?
that's true.
You know some fucking shit.
Why you stop crazy? Nah, because you think I sound crazy.
Nobody can show you black on the planet. Semantics.
You're talking true.
We're not black. Race was made up.
You're talking true.
Race was made up.
He's correct.
Show me black.
The
Show me
concept
black on
of
the
race as different races is
planet.
made
Show me
up.
black. Everybody else.
It's
they
a social
they
construct.
European, they Australian, they Chinese, they Japanese. Show me black on the planet.
According to Dr. Molefe Kida Asante. We can go to Molefe Kida Asante just to show that, bring some context to that. Dr. Molefe Kida Asante recently shared that his university at the MK Institute, he does series of lectures and he shares bits and pieces of it. Give it all a check out and make sure y'all subscribe to his channel. Subscribe to his channel because he is introducing knowledge that has not been brought forth before among a lot of Pan-African scholars. So he's going into the oldest calendar.
This week we're hosting a free trading and
in
investing
mankind
workshop right here in Houston. Inside this workshop,
There are many things that we discovered during the Mass Week, you see, and that was important. And then we discovered Nzala Ilanga. I happened to come across this maybe 10 years ago. Nzala Ilanga, 100,000 years ago, there was this place called the birthplace of the sun. And I had read about it, and I wanted to go. And one day I told my wife, I'm going to go to South Africa, and I'm going to go to Mpumalanga because I want to see the birthplace of the sun. And I went to this site. It's an ancient megalithic site. It is considered the world's oldest functional stone calendar, predating Stonehenge by thousands of years, used by ancient Africans to track seasons, solstices, and the new year, marking a significant spiritual and cultural heritage site aligned with cosmic events like the Sirius stars rising. That's called Nzala Ilanga. It means birthplace of the sun. 100,000 years old. That's during the Mass Week. The historian would say, well, that's not history. But it's 100,000 years old and it exists. And in fact, there I am standing there, right? I'm standing there with my son, Simpiwe Sisat. He's a professor at the University of Western Cape. Then we're standing at Izala Ilanga in Ehelanzeni in Mpumalanga, South Africa. I went there to see it because I said, I can't believe this. Nobody ever told me this. I never read it in any book.
Right.
That the oldest structural site in the world, built by humans who raised these stela all over the place.
You hearing it here, folks?
Of them, stones like these, is in Africa, and it's 100,000 years old. Unerasable fact. Unerasable fact. The Limbombo bone that's found in Eswatini, which is south, is a country inside of South Africa. Used to be called Swaziland. The Limbombo bone is 44,000 years old. It is considered the oldest mathematical instrument in the world. You can't find one older. 44,000 years old. Limbombo bone in the Limbombo Mountains between Eswatini and South Africa. This is during the Mesui. Writing hasn't even started yet, but black women are counting. This instrument was used for counting the menstrual cycle. And not only, it was not just in South Africa, it was also, let me see if I have, it was also, this was the, this was the one in South, this is the Mbombo mathematician, but there was one called the Ishango bone, which is younger, it was not as old, 28,000 years old. It's the same structure, where women actually put marks on these bones to count the days before from one cycle to the next. Africa, to the first mathematicians were women. First people to do arithmetic, counting, women. And it had to do with their own personal lives, you see. This is a historical fact. The Ishango bone is found in the Democratic Republic of Congo near the Uganda border. It was thought to be the oldest mathematical instrument until the Limbombo bone was found. It is a lunar calendar marker believed to be used to count the menstrual cycle. That's how deep this is. These are unerasable facts. These are ancient festival dances, 40,000 years ago, on painted on the walls of a cave. This is, of course, in historical time. There's some Egyptian, a woman painted like Nut, who is holding the sky up, you see. The naming of things. We learn all this during the next week. The unknown of many names, the calling of children.
All right, let me show you all this video.
This home memory ritual kept me far from dementia. I'm 100 years old, but my
hope y'all enjoying. Make sure you give a like, comment, subscribe.
But there's some unerasable facts, and I want to go through these, and I think we'll have a clearer understanding.
300,000 years of African civilization.
All right. I start with a concept that you've heard me talk about before, and we talked about it here. And that's the Mesui. And the Mesui, you should know what the Mesui is. The Mesui says that Homo sapiens, that's human beings like us, existed from around 350, maybe some people say 300,000, some people say 250,000, so I say 300,000 years ago. We have the beginning of Homo sapiens. That's thinking humans. That's what that word means, Homo sapien. Thinking human beings with knowledge and thinking. Big brains, bigger, larger brains. That's who we are. The 8 billion people who are on the earth today, Homo sapiens. There's only one race, all Homo sapiens. We're all Homo sapiens. We don't have a whole lot of Neanderthals running around. We don't have a lot of Denisovans running around. We don't have a lot of Homo habilis running around. We have Homo sapiens running around. We're all Homo sapiens, regardless to our phenotypes. So this is very important to understand this, because once you understand this, you will see what I'm talking about. So the mess suite is a period from the first appearance of Homo sapiens all the way to the beginning of writing. That's the mess suite. That's the I call it the beginning of cultures. That's what it means for me. The birth of cultures, coming from mess suite. The beginning of cultures, the birth of cultures, you see. It is very important that we understand the mess suite, because now the reason why I'm spending a little time on the mess suite for you is because Europe is very tricky. And Europe has done some incredible things with knowledge and history of the world. They've created all kinds of categories, and some of them are meaningless. But you need to know why they created them. And they created them out of their own ambition to promote a notion of European superiority. That's why they created all these notions like that. All these categories, even the category of race itself. If you talk about race, and you have the categories that they have established about race, you're talking about how Europe has created this notion of race so that they can create racism. Nobody else created that. No African in classical period said, oh, okay, we will create these races. And not only are we going to create these races, we are going to then judge and evaluate people on the basis of their phenotypes. No African said that. And yet we knew there were people who were short. And we knew people that were lighter complexion, and people that were darker complexion. But we never said we're going to rank people by those bases. That was not an African idea. That's a European idea. And almost no other people did that, except there is a group that did it. I'll talk about them another time. But right now, to understand the mess suite, you have to understand that the mess suite is that period between the existence, the emergence of Homo sapiens, all the way down to the time of writing, which is around 3,500 years before the Christian era, before Jesus Christ, 3,500 years BC. That is that whole mess suite. So you are talking about literally almost 300,000 years. 300,000 years. Now what does Europe call those 300,000 years? Prehistory. Hey, wait a minute. Listen to me. Be careful.
Listen.
Now. Understand this. You have 300,000 years of prehistory, which in Europe's mind, nothing happened until writing, 3,500 BC. You know that's ridiculous. You think about it. Even the Europeans were thinking about it. They it is ridiculous. I mean, it's almost like nothing happened. Oh yeah, a whole lot happened. A whole lot happened, but you don't want to count all that happened, right? You want to say, no, it doesn't start in the writing, and then you want to try to say that writing really didn't start in Africa, it really started in Mesopotamia. That really, and then because Mesopotamia may be a little closer to Europe. Mesopotamia today is Iraq. That's Mesopotamia. So they're saying, not, it didn't start in the Nile Valley, it started in the valley of the Euphrates. That's what they say. That's where writing started. But that's not true. Even the latest scientists have said that writing starts fundamentally in Kemet, in Egypt, first.
That's the sound of an American oil company hard at work.
And we're going to pause it right there. So, let me know how y'all feeling up to this point in our live stream. What thoughts and questions y'all have. We haven't even covered like what we were going to go over today, but that was just one video showing I could relate. Okay, so let me relate him to some Caucasian or European scholars so that y'all aren't just thinking that it's just Afrocentricity. Okay? Because we're all one, but for some reason, some people think they're not part of the human family. And that reason is ignorance. Okay, so let's go to the book. I can either go to the book or go to the journal article. Hang on. Look for a reference real quick. Yeah, this is the semantic war that's been placed on so-called black people in the year 2026. Well, it's been placed on them since slavery because the erasure of their African-moors ancestry was the point. Okay, I'm looking for the books. Okay, here's the books. Okay. I'm looking for, we already went over this. And I'm just tying it back to what Malefe Asante said about these meaningless racial classifications.
Want to be a part
I'm tying it back.
Hello.
So
my name is
I'm letting y'all see that the English language, language, I'll say it like this: the English language is being played with against the people calling themselves black in the Western Hemisphere and in the diaspora. The English language is being manipulated. Let's go over this part one more time. Pay close attention.
Europe is very tricky. And because Europe is very tricky. And Europe has done some incredible things with knowledge and history of the world. They've created all kinds of categories, and some of them are meaningless. But you need to know why they created them. And they created them out of their own ambition to promote a notion of European superiority.
Okay, we're gonna stop right there because, you know, well, no, let's go. Let's
That's
continue.
why they created all these notions like that. All these categories, even the category of race itself. If you talk about race, and you have the categories that they have established about race, you're talking about how Europe has created this notion of race so that they can create racism. Nobody else created that.
Okay, so right here, let me show this on the screen, bring this over. We have the book, if it shows the title. Oh, yay! Alright, we're getting somewhere. Black Genesis, The Prehistoric Origins of Ancient Egypt by Robert Bouval and Thomas Brophy, PhD. So if we go to page 165, I believe. No, 245. 245. We're going to read this page. 245. We're going to start right here. And this is tied to what Dr. Malefic Hida Asante said. In one of the BBC episodes, the presenter Alice Roberts, who is also a lecturer in anatomy at the University of Bristol, explains that a, quote, complex-looking DNA-based family tree shows how 21st century Europeans, Australians, and the rest can all trace back to the same black population, end quote. Roberts further explains with refreshing candor that, quote, population is the word we should be using instead of race. I wouldn't use the word race. Biologically, it doesn't make sense. It's a bizarre mismatch of concepts, culture, history. Genetically, a white Scandinavian and someone from sub-Saharan Africa are very similar. In fact, humans have less variation genetically than chimpanzees. It makes you realize that all historical attitudes towards different races are scientifically meaningless. And this is the article that it is from. Oh, it's actually from this one. This Michael Deacon interview. I think you can put this in. I hadn't seen it. I think I shared it on my our official X page. Probably both of these citations. Yeah, both of these references. All right, so that's tying back to Dr. Malefic Hida Asante. So, however, there's more scholars to even the author of the book Black Genesis, Robert Bauval. He even mentions it. He mentions it on the stage at a university, at a college. And he said that he would get slack for it. For saying what he said. So let's go to what he said. Because we put it out there. It should be there somewhere. If not, we can go to the video where he said it. Okay, so that's not going to work. So let's go to the video where Robert Bauval said it himself. On race. So you got celebrities thinking that there's different races, illiterate, ignorant of African-Moorish history and their connection to African-Moorish consanguinity, even Songhai consanguinity and Kemetic consanguinity. African. Okay? And they're using words to trap the dark-skinned people in the Western Hemisphere calling themselves black, African-American, Negro-colored, etc., and throughout the diaspora that identify with the term black. Okay? Not knowing that, thinking that black is an adjective, how Taj Tariq Bey would say. Black people thinking that the word black is an identity and it's an adjective in the English language. Okay? I was going to go to Robert Bauval. I was gonna make this quick. Now it's 40 minutes. And I still haven't even got through like the first quarter. Yeah, I haven't even got through the first quarter, man. If only I had more time. I need y'all to subscribe. I need y'all. Oh yeah, I also need y'all to rewatch our videos. Put our videos on repeat. Play all our videos. Put them on repeat. That helps the watch time. We're trying to get our watch time up. So make sure y'all do that. And that helps our business. That helps get us better fit to tackle our future goals. Okay. Robert Bouval presentation or lecture? I think it's lecture. Black Genesis. Yeah, I read 2 of Robert Bouval's books, Black Genesis and The Orion Mystery. Yeah, we're gonna go
There's
this
800
part.
people in the audience.
Yeah, we gonna go here. All right, so y'all see the screen. Everything's checking out. So this is Robert. Hang on. This is Robert Bouval, Black Genesis: The Prehistoric Origins of Ancient Egypt. Full lecture by Megalithomania UK. So y'all can type that in anytime.
The Washington University District of Columbia. Most of them African Americans.
Let me go back a little bit.
And I was apparently the first to say dresses, and you can't see it too well, but they have the same triangular dress as the ancient Egyptians. The only thing is that they are black, hence the title Black Genesis. And we know now, because of genetic studies, that we all come from what we call the African Eve. I gave a talk at I'm going to end on this because I'm going to get scolded.
Pay attention.
Book, huh?
Don't know if you missed that.
From what we call the African Eve.
Pay attention.
I gave a talk at I'm going to end on this because I'm going to get scolded. Leave you to read the book, huh? There was 800 people in the audience at the Washington University District of Columbia, most of them African Americans. And I was apparently the first to say, I'm a black man turned white. Because that's what we are. It's just that. It's just a bit of melatonin that changes in your skin. And this is such a wonderful realization that we all come from the same source and we're exactly the same people. The package is different, that's all. And look at history and the mess we made because of not understanding this. We're at the threshold not only of understanding this scientifically, but to have found these people. Read my book. Thank you very much.
Now, this isn't me saying this just off the top of my head. I just showed y'all three scholars that of different skin complexions saying the same thing. And we can even go further. Let's show another who says, so why are these ideas conflicting? Why do their ideas and perspectives conflict with the held academic community? Whatever you type in on ChatGPT or Google, etc., they're gonna say that people like Robert Bouval, possibly Alice Roberts, Dr. Malefe Sante, they possibly might say that controversial, Afrocentric, don't have the proper credentials, etc., besides owning up to the truth of what actually happened and what's observable by science and evidence. So this is the dilemma that the black people has to deal with on top of secret societies, fraternal orders, inferiority complex programming, you know, brainwashing. Just go to page 5. Since black people are victims of program brainwashing, it is hardly conceivable that the overwhelming majority are not subdued by it. This is evident by our behavior patterns when we still think that white is right and black is wrong in so many phases of our journey through life. Mind you that many black people are not ever aware of the brainwash, and many more who think they are aware but know not how to communicate the extent of the brainwash because most of it comes through subliminal seduction. And I can just go further, and we haven't even covered 1/4 of the topic of tonight. So yeah, let's show another reference. Somebody that has studied it, you know, so that y'all don't think that I'm just talking off the top of my head. Okay, let's go. Give me one moment. We are looking for Isaiah Thomas. Y'all know Isaiah Thomas, don't y'all? Do y'all watch basketball? No, y'all watch basketball. You know black people like basketball, right? Is this the number one black this is the number one black YouTube channel? Let me know in the comment section. This is the number one black people YouTube channel.
When you travel outside of America,
can this be the number one black YouTube channel of 2026? Let me know.
Equal rights. We are not granted birth rights in this color-coded caste system that we have in America. When you talk black, white, people of color, you know, that comes with legal concepts, that come with legal terms. And then when you look up the definitions of these words, right? When you look up the definition of black, we want to change the definitions of words, but we can't. You know, language is what language is. But when you go to the dictionary and you look up the definition of black, the first thing that's in that box next to the word black, it says adjective. Now, we know that a noun is a person, place, or thing. An adjective, you are not a person. So when you classify as black in terms of race, you're basically taking yourself out of personhood, and that's the definition. Now, we do have, you know, connotative and denotative language. We tend to speak in connotative language where it's acceptable. Like when we say bling bling, we say, oh, that means a diamond. Well, when you go someplace else, they call a diamond a diamond. You know? Now, when you travel outside of America.
All right. So, y'all just got it from him. It's a racial construct. Though Jason Whitlock disagreed with him. Jason Whitlock believes in, I'll just show this.
Media world talk about this? Will any of the Cowboys treat Austin Metcalf the way the Cowboys treated George Floyd, taking a knee all over the place? What's more of a tragedy? George Floyd overdosing on fentanyl under the knee of Derek Chauvin, or this 17-year-old boy, honor roll student, devout Christian, stabbed in the heart at a track meet? but no one's outraged. No, that's a misnomer. People are outraged. But these idolatrous, or these idols that have been installed in our culture, let's see if they have a word to say about this. I don't think they will. Because we've seen this before. Do you remember the shows I was doing a year and a half ago about the kid Ethan Liming? The 17-year-old, I believe, high school football player in Akron, Ohio, who got beaten up and killed in the parking lot of LeBron James's I Promise school. Everybody goes deathly silent when the white kid with the promising future gets killed by young black men.
See, you see how he's using the words? He's using white and black, not knowing that these are statuses, or possibly he does know that these are statuses. But, however, this is about approximately 4 or 5 years after he had his interview with Isaiah Thomas in the regards of race being a social construct. So it seems like Jason Whitlock didn't change within that 5-year period, or re-examine his evidence or his knowledge of the origins of the social construct. So if we're looking at the Webster's 9th New Collegiate Dictionary Private Library Edition, a Merriam-Webster dictionary, and on page, I just had it, on page 155, you have the term black. It says adjective, Middle English, black, French Old English, black, probably akin to OHG, blah, black, L, flagere, to burn, Greek, Phlegian, before 12th century, 1a, of the color black, b, 1, very dark in color, his face was black with rage. 2, having a very deep or low register, a bass with a black voice. 3, heavy, serious, the play was a intrigue. 2a, having dark skin, hair, and eyes. Swarthy. A black Irishman. The swarthy, dark skin. B1, of or relating to a group or race characterized by dark pigmentation, especially of or relating to the Negro race, Americans, black Americans. 2, of or relating to the Afro-American people or culture, black literature, black theater, black pride. 3, dressed in black. 4, dirt, soiled, hands black with grime. 5a, characterized by the absence of light. Okay, we got all these absent of light, black, men, dark skin. Okay, adjective. All right, it's still an adjective, but just hang on. It's still meaning being described as Negroes, as black Irish, as the black American. Okay, let's go to the term blackamoor. Okay, so on page 156 you have blackamoor. Blackamoor, noun, as Taj Tariq Bey would say. Okay, give him a look, give them a subscribe and tune in to Dr. G's channel. Subscribe to Dr. G's channel. Okay? House of Reawakening Minds. Okay? So we have blackamoor, noun, irregular French, black plus more, in parentheses. 1547, a dark-skinned person, especially Negro. Okay? So we know from our previous live streams, from the etymological dictionary, it won't say the origin of Moor in here, but we will go to the English etymology of the word Moor. So let's go to the word Moor first in this dictionary. Let's see if I can bring it up for y'all so we can get some context. Let me not lose the page. Webster's 9. Let me get this off the screen. Give y'all something else to look at. All right, so we traced all the way from social constructs, meaningless forming of race, and it's so much to go over. And we are reaching the hour mark. So much to go over. This is why we need y'all to subscribe. If we can get more subscribers, we can live stream more frequently across all of our platforms using this knowledge. So there's deeper, the knowledge gets deeper, but I don't want to lose track of thought. And I was supposed to make this quick, but as you see, connecting the dots is not as quick as one might believe. Okay. Hopefully it got it, because I typed in a lot with one hand. Bear with me. Check out this, give this video a watch too. Okay, I think I got it. Let me log in and stuff. And get y'all to the page so y'all can see with me. Okay? So let's bring this over. Can y'all see? Is everything fine? Looking at the chat. Everything cool? Everything okay. So now let's go to 156. That'd be like right here. Come on, baby. Load. And 20 pages off. Come on. Oh, that's close. Closer. Come on, load, baby. Yeah, we staying creating slow-mo Moorish portals. Expect a new slow-mo Moorish portal by this weekend. We are in the lab. We are we are working every day. I don't know if y'all can tell, but we working very hard every day. And the goal is to work smarter, not harder. But our we've been facing daunting tasks that some of you all cannot see. And yeah, facing truly daunting tasks. I'm trying to show y'all the page, but it's like it's really laggy right now, and hopefully it's like the right version. While it's loading, I'll look at the published date. (1986). Okay, so it looks, it may have it in there, hopefully. I'm trying to zoom in so y'all can see what I was reading earlier. What I was reading earlier was on this page. Okay, so it's pretty much pretty much the same. So what I was reading earlier was this paragraph right here. I read all the way down to about like right here. So you see Negro race, Black Americans, where you see this little squiggly line. I substitute the black for this squiggly line. You see those? Black literature, black theater. As you see, black, swarthy. You see this word, swarthy. We're gonna come back to that. We gonna come back to that. All right. So let me zoom out. Wrong window. Okay. Hang on. Now you see over here. Pay, like I just said. Hold up. You see that? I mean, I know I'm not bullshitting. Excuse my language. But you see here, blackamoor? Blackamoor, you see this N right here? You see that? It says, that means noun. You see that? You see these parentheses? Irregular, French, black plus more. 1547. A dark-skinned person. A dark-skinned person. But wait. I thought black meant dark-skinned person. But what does more mean? More means dark-skinned person. What? More means dark-skinned person? But when was black created? Oh, black was created. I don't know. When was black created? When was the term black created and etymology? I wonder if Google will answer. I've never done this. Okay, so this is AI, but you know Google lies. So this is I'm taking this with a grain of salt, right? Because if this was the same as more, if I was saying more, then I'll take it with a grain of salt, right? Don't believe everything on the internet. Okay, the term quote black originates from Old English black, quote dark, ink, end quote, rooted in Proto-Germanic blackas, quote burn, end quote, and Proto-Indo-European blague, quote to burn, gleam, shine, end quote. The word evolved from describing color/darkness around the 9th and 10th century to referring to people of African descent by the 1620s. Okay, so the Moors were already in Spain, really since the Carthaginians. If we really want to play with this nonsense, you see, like it's ridiculous. And this is what I'm saying. It's really ridiculous because if you use scholars like Joe Augustus Rogers and Ivan Van Sertima, we can see that the quote-unquote Moors or dark-skinned people or dark-skinned Africans were in Europe 100,000 years ago. We're just using human history, okay? Grimaldi man or Garamantes. There's Grimaldi men bones all throughout Europe. African presence in early Europe. Ivan van Sertima. Okay. And what else do I want to connect? The term Moor. So let's go to the term Moor in this dictionary while it's up, because it's been a long time since I looked it up in this dictionary, and I could be lost here. I don't know exactly where it is, but we're gonna find it. And then we're going to compare and contrast, and then we're going to look at the etymology of the word Moor, because it's deeper than what will be revealed in this newer book. Because of connotative language over time, new meanings being applied to the word over time, but the old meaning still doesn't change. The word meant what the word meant back then, and it still means the same thing, whether it's connotative or not. The word meant the word. That's what it meant. Okay? This isn't just me saying it. Let me look for it in here. Hopefully I can find it quicker than... Oh, no. Beat me to it. More is... It's going to be right in this section right here. But they're going to refer to the Arabs. Okay. Or Muslim, etc. Alright. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful, and you got to cite your references. Because the semantic wars against the so-called black people and even white people is being played, whether y'all like it or not. And I'm just presenting the information. Alright? So you got here, more can mean a different amount of things. But it was first, when the etymology of the word meant dark skin, or the inhabitants of the place where they were, according to Greeks and Romans. Okay? So you got more here. It says more, noun, Middle English more, French, Old English more, akin to OHG, Mary C, more, at Marine, before 12th century, one chiefly Brit, and expanse of open rolling infertile land. 2, a boggy area of wasteland, usually peaty and dominated by grasses and sedges. More, verb, Middle English, morin, akin to MD, marin, to tie, more, verb transitive, 15th century, to make fast with, or as if with cables, lines, or anchors. Okay. 1, to secure a boat by mooring. This is the one that most people are familiar with, to secure a boat. Okay. Who created the first boats? Egyptians, or it's still Africans. If you want to call them Egyptians or Africans or Phoenicians, they're still Africans. Homo sapiens sapien only come from one place, and all 3 of those come from Africa. Okay, all 3 of those are Homo sapiens sapien, unless somebody else want to present some evidence. Feel free to do so in the comment section. Okay, number 2, to be made fast, and then you have here more, noun, Middle English, more, French. I don't know what that is. Middle French, possibly. French, Latin, Moorish, inhabitant of Mauritania, 14th century. One of the mixed Arab and Berber conquerors of Spain in the 8th century AD. 2, Berber / Moorish. Ish, adjective. There you have it. To go further on this, to show y'all a European scholar and not Afrocentric scholar, since that's all the trolls and the people that are against African Moorish history, that's what they're after. They're after little nitpicky stuff like that. Oh, he's an Afrocentric scholar. Oh, he doesn't have a doctor's degree. Oh, he didn't go to a accredited university. Oh, he didn't publish a journal. Just like Dr. Molefe Kida Asante mentioned earlier about them changing the origin of writing when they obviously know that writing originated in Africa from African Homo sapiens sapiens. So let me go and show reference to Berber meaning Moorish as opposed to them putting Arab in Berber, or Arab first as opposed to Berber. Okay? So now let's go to the book by Stanley Lane Poole. I'm pretty sure y'all know the title. Stanley Lane Poole, Story of the Moors in Spain. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Here we go. Story of the Moors in Spain, Berbers proper. Okay? So there's no confusion. We have to clear this up. These celebrities gotta clear it up. Y'all gotta clear it up, man. Y'all got a bigger platform. And I want to mention something real quick too. All right. Let me get this citation for y'all. Okay, so on page, I'll show the screen. All right. So we're on page 68. This is the ebook. So let me go give y'all a chapter. So it's chapter 3. We're gonna read this part right here. Let me put up OBS and see if everything's all good. Everything is all good. Excellent. Live stream still going. We're 1 hour 15 minutes in. I was gonna make it quick, but it ended up going, and I'm just providing more evidence. I'll say, all right. So in Andalusia, moreover, there was another and very important party to be reckoned with. Besides the various Arab factions, the conquest of the peninsula had been affected most entirely by Tariq and his Berbers. And these Berbers, who are Moors proper, though the word is conveniently employed to denote the mixture of Arabs and Berbers, form a leading factor in the new state of things. Okay? Do you see here? The Berbers are the Moors proper. It's right here, like what? Like y'all, I know y'all see this. It's these celebrities have been all over the world. They have all these mentors. They have been all these countries. They had all these people come around them. And you mean to tell me they don't already know this? While the black people thinking they crayons, as Taj Tariq Bey would say. They think their identity is a crayon color. They don't know their African-Moors history. They don't know that the Berbers were enslaving the Europeans during the transatlantic slave trade, holding the Europeans in slavery, holding them for ransom. Nabil Matar, Daniel Vickers, piracy and the redemption of slavery. They don't know this. Why is nobody saying nothing? Why is nobody bringing up the Spanish Inquisition against the Moors and the Jews? Moors we see is the Berbers proper, Africans, North Africans, native of African. Homo sapiens only come from one place. Remember that too. Okay. So there's no different races, right? There's no different I just showed y'all 4 scholars that just said race is a social construct. One even went far enough to say that it is a mental illness. Dr. Edgar J. Ridley and Dr. Malefic Keela Asante said this. I can bring up the video right now. I'm adding more evidence. So let's go back. I can bring it up. Dr. Malefic Asante, Edgar J. Ridley. Okay? And this was recent. I don't know if it was part 1, part 2. As you can see, we already watched both of them.
I'm very happy to be here with one of the great thinkers of our times, and that is Edgar Ridley. And I have enjoyed conversations with him over the past, and I'm really delighted that he's taken some time out today to have a conversation with me about one of the most important innovations, I believe.
He went to the American Psychiatric Association. Now, some of our thinking symbolically,
listen,
is a mental health problem. Now, some of our top scholars, one of them who recently passed, what's his name? Alvin Toussaint, made this statement as a professor of psychiatry at Harvard Medical School. He went to the American Psychiatric Association and said that you must classify racism as a mental illness. And their response was very interesting. They stated that we can never and we cannot classify racism as a mental illness because it's indeed the norm of society. It's normal to be racist. And that has caused the problem. Now, what I have discovered is not only is racism a mental illness, symbolic thinking is indeed a mental illness. So what John Dewey stated is that it really shows the mental health of people all over the world, globally. We have a mental health problem.
Mm-hmm.
And what has happened is what we call behavior epigenetics, which states that our behavior is a key to solving the world's problem. It's our behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And our behavior now, globally, is indeed symbolic.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I want to pause there because this conversation still it goes even deeper.
Fear that they instill in black people are being owned, and we are still participating in that. So what I'm saying is that African people, I find, are the most hated people on earth. That's not coming from my experience all over the world, but the leading scientific textbook, the same thing.
Well, part of it may be very, very much the idea of primacy and the idea that actually all humans are actually the children of Africans. The first Homo sapiens were Africans, and if it were not for Africans spreading throughout the rest of the world, then there would not be people in Asia or Europe or the South Pacific or the Americas, because actually all Homo sapiens start first in Africa. So there there is a sort of resentment, perhaps, from the fact that, as the brothers and sisters used to say in the 1960s, we were or are the original people. The original man was an African man. So that may be one of the problems. But I wanted to actually get to...
All right. These two gentlemen just broke it down to you, and they have doctor's degrees. I don't have a doctor's degree at the moment, but so I mean, I'm just providing the information. I'm transporting you guys perceptually to different sources of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and eventually, hopefully, you all can reach your level of spiritual enlightenment, or aspire to that, or understand what that is. Okay, so he had mentioned Homo sapien originated in Africa. We know this, but black man still don't know his African Moorish consequential connection to Africa. He doesn't know. Black man still don't know his African Moorish history. In the year 2026, black man been brainwashed by white man. So-called white man. So-called black man been brainwashed by so-called white man. For 400 years. Possibly even older. Possibly 600. Possibly 1,000. It's been a progression throughout time. If you're able to trace history and language, you'll see biology, anatomy, you know, the records are there. The bones are there. The stone records are there. The evidence is there. And so he had mentioned Homo. You know how the semantic war on black people have them thinking that words, English words, or even just words in general, can somehow have a new meaning, and it not validate, and it just make the old meaning obsolete. No. So you have homo as a connotative term used in the African American or black community to refer to homosexuals, as seen in this book on page 578. So if we go to homo, so y'all can see, we're gonna get out this search. Come on, a little bit faster. So you have homo here, 578. I'm in. If I said 76. Homo, noun, plural, homos. NL, hominin, homo, French, Latin, man, more homage. 1596. Any of the genus Homo of primate mammals that includes modern man, Homo sapiens, and several extinct related species. Okay, that's what homo mean. First, now you got the second definition. Homo, noun, plural, homos. B, by shortening. 1929. That's 400 years. Hang on. That's about 330 years after homo started meaning homosexual, often used disparagingly. So that's 330 years. Let's go to it. I'll show you, because we're looking at more right now. I don't want to brainwash y'all so y'all can put speculations on me that I'm brainwashing y'all with Moorish Science Temple of America teachings as the trolls and secret society members and the people against African-moors history and science would say. Okay? So, this is page... I think this is it. Alright, so... we're 1 hour 30 minutes in. I tried to tell y'all it was gonna it wasn't gonna take that long, but this is important information. I can't really just sugarcoat it. This is detrimental to the upcoming generations of people, so that they don't bask in the stupidity of this generation. I don't know what I'm doing. What happened? Dang it. What happened? Okay. Dang, I didn't mean to do that. We're having some technical difficulties. Hang on, this is in the way. I got a lot going on here. Bear with me. Oh, thank y'all for sticking with me. I don't see the chat, so I don't even know what y'all saying, if y'all saying anything. So, right here, this is the first definition I went over. Homo, noun, plural homos, hominin, more 1596. Any of the genus Homo of primate mammals that includes modern man, Homo sapiens, and several extinct related species. Homo, plural homos, shortening by shortening. This is the second definition right here. Let me zoom in so y'all can see. So you see this 2? This is the second definition. Alright? So, homosexual, often used disparagingly. So you see this date? This is when the word was first established. I suppose. This is my assumption. But this was 330 years before this. But this doesn't, the word doesn't change. So it has a dual meaning. So it can be used connotatively, but the denotation means hominin, human, modern human. That's what it means. It doesn't mean homosexual. This is the connotative meaning 330 years after this point. Okay? So, how does this relate to black people? Okay. So we just showed Kanye West, right? Saying we're not black, we're Indian, right? Okay. That's one way. But he seemed to not understand African-moors history, even though he said that in his interview with Joe Rogan on Joe Rogan's podcast that Maleficent, her race of people, and I quote, was the Moors, and the Moors, and I see, end quote. Okay, so he didn't go into the full detail of explaining who the Moors were to the people that don't know. Because some people think it just means Moorish Science Temple of America, because that's some of the brainwashing that's going on currently in the year 2026. And it's been going on since Noble Drew Ali. Okay? So they're not connecting, they're still not connecting with African Moors, they're connecting with Asiatic. The same thing with Nation of Islam, connecting with Asiatic, though the origin of Homo sapiens sapien comes from Africa. We have shown with 4 scholars actually, whatever. We didn't show it. Replay it, rewind it, put this on repeat, etc. And we haven't even covered all the topics today. But I don't want to stretch this out too long. We only covered like half of the topic. That was like half of it. So I was gonna get on the the second half, which is there's only one human race. So this language, the semantic war on the blacks, I've shown in previous live streams the Spanish Inquisition, the meaning of the word faggot, meaning a bundle of sticks. Years before it was used to refer to a homosexual. Well, at least that's the evidence I have. However, this may contradict with Dr. Kabla Hiawatha Kamende when he said that I'm paraphrasing him. He made the claim that faggots were referred to the homosexual men at that time when they were burning them to the stake or to the faggots. So that then became a word of ridicule, and I'm still paraphrasing him, for homosexuals, and that's how we get the connotative meaning of the word faggot. But the word faggot still means a bundle of sticks. Let's see if we have it in this dictionary. Yep, we have it here. Faggot, page 440. Oh yeah, I need this to search faster though. 445, page 445. The word faggot. It meant bundle of sticks before homosexuals. They're playing with the words. They're playing with the language, different languages. Both. They're playing with the language and keeping so-called black people in the Western Hemisphere and in the diaspora that are calling themselves black, referring to themselves black, and learning English and referring to themselves as black. They're continuing to brainwash as we speak, because the language still connects to Greek and Roman, but they're not cognitive of that, because you have other clowns that are muddying the waters and putting on the show and distracting and using connotative meanings and secret societies, using code words, secrets. It's a mess. It's a mess. I hope y'all are paying attention. Take notes. Fact check. You know what I'm saying? If I say anything wrong, put it in the description. The comment section. I'm only human, so I can't say everything. I can't get everything right. I can't get everything right. Alright, so this is page 440. I just want to show y'all, man. It's going a little slow. Alright, so over here. Let me show y'all a page just so you know. 445. Right. So you got fag up here. This is a shortened faggot, often used disparagingly. Right. You got faggot here. Noun. Origin unknown. 1914. A male homosexual, often used disparagingly. Faggoty. Adjective. Okay. Then you got faggot here. Faggot or faggot. Noun, Middle English faggot, French, Middle French possibly, 14th century. Bundle, as a bundle of sticks. B, a bundle of pieces of wrought iron that to be shaped by rolling or hammering at high temperature. Second definition, faggot or faggot, verb transitive, circa 1598, to make a faggot of, bind together into a bundle, faggoted sticks. This is English. They're playing with you with your words. They're making you think that races are different races and there's only one human race. They're playing with your words. They're playing with your words. And you know who created the letters? You know who created the alphabet? Let's go to who created the alphabet. Another scholar, Dr. John L. Johnson. In his book, you guessed it, The Negro Rulers of Scotland and British Isles. Let me show this right here. Unyielding Truth, page 199. Let me go to the title of the book. Y'all see it here. The Negro Rulers of Scotland and the British Isles by Dr. John L. Johnson. First printed in 2001. This is the third printing, 2020. Page 198, 199. And we're just going to pretend. We're just going to pretend here. I'm going to read this part. Unyielding Truth. The German philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer stated, quote, all truths pass through three stages. First is ridiculed. Second is violently opposed. Third is accepted as being self-evident, end quote. At the dawn of history, the human race in waves migrated from the continent of Africa to the remote regions of the earth. Those early explorers were the first to settle in Europe as well as other lands. They invented man's first tools, weapons, the art of hunting and domesticating animals, the wheel, plow, agriculture, irrigation, sculpture, drawing, painting, chess, paper, steam engines, engineering, architect, skyscrapers, pyramids, banks, post offices, etc., an achievement which the rest of the world embraced to construct its own civilizations. The Africans also invented the world's first alphabet. I just said this. The concept of the universe, government, king, queen, religion, medicine, the study of anatomy, hospitals, the skill of surgery, spectacles, the textile industry, universities, metaphysics, chemistry, military techniques, navigational instruments, propellers, sea vessels, diving equipment, aeronautics, computers, philosophy, and mathematical sciences are marvelous accomplishments that lead to the development of Western civilization. We're playing with your words. And the so-called black people are so uneducated, so brainwashed. George G.M. James, Stolen Legacy, 1959. Calvin Robinson, Redmond Battles, Edward W. Robinson, 1987. The Journey of the Songhai People. The Origins of Writing. Dr. Malefe Akila Sante. The Egyptians taught the Greeks what math they knew. George G.M. James, Stolen Legacy, 1954. The Greeks are but children compared to the Egyptians. Muada Ashby, Serpent Power, 1997? Possibly. I mean, look, man, and I haven't even covered all the topic. And it's almost 2 hours, and I guess I'll just end on this because I wanted to touch on this from the get-go, but as I've already shown through this live stream, and just to give some icing or the cherry on the top, I know y'all seen recently Donald Trump. I haven't even watched the video. But y'all see it here. This is what I seen pop up on my news feed. Apes. Okay. So this is the ignorance that we're dealing with in the year 2026. These politicians are playing coy to the origins of Homo sapiens sapiens, or modern humans, in the year 2026. And the plan is to continue to keep doing this with impunity. And to perpetuate this is the type of mockery that the so-called black people has been dealing with since the Spanish Inquisition. This is the type of mockery and ridicule dark-skinned people have been dealing with during the transatlantic slave trade. From the year 2026 back to the beginning of the transatlantic slave trade, and while this transatlantic slave trade was taking place, and even before the transatlantic slave trade, back into Europe during the Spanish Inquisition, after the persecution of the Moors, as y'all have been brainwashed to believe in y'all history classes, right? But black people don't want to relate to the Moors, right? How about in your history class when you were brainwashed? I know y'all heard that the Moors taught the Europeans how to bathe. I know we all heard this. We all heard it regurgitated all throughout grade school, right? That's the only time the black people were going to relate to the Moors. That's the only time they giggle and shame and pretty much shame the Europeans, because that's the truth. That's the undeniable truth that's covered up. That, well, it's attempted to be covered up, but they can't cover it up. It's the ugly truth that these politicians are neglecting the show to shed that light on to the profane. According to that's mixing the reference of Captain William Morgan, Expose of Freemasonry. Check that book out as well. The profane, the public or profane are ignorant to this information, and black people shame Europeans whenever it's mentioned that the Moors taught the Europeans how to bathe and introduce soap to them, etc. See, that's the only time that the black people want to agree with being Moor, right? Or being descended from Moor. Oh, and then that awkward silence comes. because the other part of your history not told to you, and that's the part that is hidden. That's the part that you don't know, because if you did know, you would shame them even more. But you have to raise your chakras. You have to raise your chakras from your lower self. That is the lower desires of the human being. Those feelings of wanting to cause that harm, that psychological harm, that physical harm to other individuals. That's the teachings of the higher self, lower self. That's ancient Kemetic, Moorish philosophy, African philosophy, dark-skinned people. Tying back into Africa, the teachings of Africa, over, as Dr. Malefe Sante said, during the Mesquite period. So this is the dilemma that, and the war of semantics that have been placed on the black people in the Western Hemisphere and in the diaspora, that don't understand English etymology, that don't understand African Moorish history and consanguinity and their knowledge. So this is the ridiculousness that we have to deal with until these politicians, world leaders, celebrities, etc., can take accountability, and monarchy can take accountability. Until then, evil and ignorance continues to thrive. Thank y'all for tuning in. We live stream every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure y'all tune in. We have much more to discuss. More slow-mo, Moorish portals are coming. So make sure y'all subscribe. Put our videos on the playlist. Watch them all. Press play all, shuffle, etc. When you're doing whatever tasks, reading, sleeping, working, exercising, etc., you can gain some knowledge while you exercise, while you use your metabolics doing dishes, according to Dr. Stanley Mesley, author of the book The 30-Day Heart Tune-Up. So, thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll catch y'all next week, Wednesday. Make sure y'all buy our merchandise too. Dudes.